And what will be a major milestone, Indian Railways is set to enter a new phase of clean transportation with the launch of country's first hydrogen fuel cell-powered train. These are the live visuals coming in from the place where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is flagging off the train in Haryana's Jind right now. According to the Indian Railways, the 10-coach hydrogen-powered train will run on the Jind-Sonipat route under Northern Railway. Now, this milestone solidifies the nation's push for sustainable, diesel-free rail operations and net-zero targets. Now, the pilot project brings together hydrogen propulsion technology with the dedicated storage, refueling, and operational systems. It aims to test the possibility of cleaner rail transport in India while improving energy efficiency and reducing environmental impact. The railways say hydrogen fuel cell technology generates electricity through a chemical reaction using hydrogen. And with this, India would join a select group of countries that have operational hydrogen-powered trains. That includes Germany, Japan, China, and the United States. The Indian Railways is also reportedly exploring the deployment of hydrogen technology on heritage railways, including the Kalka-Shimla route. We're now cutting across to Jind and Haryana, where PM Modi, of course, has flagged. Now we're talking to our correspondent, Hamjad, who is there on the ground. Talk to us, Hamjad, about, of course, this new project, very important for India and for the environment, I would start to say. Tell us more.
Well, India has definitely become only the 5th country to now have a train that runs on hydrogen-powered self-fuel. And unlike other countries where you have 2 to 3 coaches that run on this particular clean fuel and technology, this particular train that has just been flagged off from Jind to Sonipat in the state of Haryana has 10 coaches and can carry over 2,600 passengers per side. And so this definitely is a monumentous occasion for the country at a time when the entire world is looking in the direction of finding cleaner alternatives to energy and fuel and find ways to become more and more self-reliant in a system that is so geopolitically uncertain at this point in time. Now, India's railway infrastructure, largely Jyotsna, has been electrified in a majority part of the country. But there are still small areas of India which does not have the electrification system that it requires to run the standard electricity or diesel trains. This kind of a system, the hydrogen cell-powered fuel run train, is going to be very, very pivotal in areas like those. Of course, the small route that we're talking about, Jind and Sonipat, which is about a 2-hour travel distance, that is one of the many routes which India can now look forward to in terms of this new technology and indigenous technology that it has now deployed.
Absolutely. You know, I was actually coming to that, Hamjad, the fact that this is, of course, a very short route and it's a test. Of course, we'll be looking at how it progresses in other parts of the country. Do we know anything about this? If this is successful, what are we looking forward to go forward and all the routes across India, if it's possible?
Well, this right now, of course, is a pilot project, Jyotsna, and it's also important to take into consideration that a technology like this also requires other infrastructure. Now, the train that starts from Jind and goes all the way to Sonipat also needs refueling and other support in terms of infrastructure. That plant has also been established in Jind. So, of course, the authorities and the government, when they plan the entire thing in terms of, you know, where these trains ultimately have access as they keep expanding this new technology network, infrastructure that is secondary also in terms of refueling, in terms of creating this fuel, and in terms of looking at what more needs to be done, all that secondary infrastructure also needs to be taken care of. So this, of course, is a good start. It's a landmark start, but Rome wasn't built in a day. Clean energy transportation will also not be built in a day. It is going to take time, but it's definitely one of those momentous occasions that puts India on the map, along with very few chosen countries who have started deploying this technology in terms of being self-reliant when it comes to public transportation.
Absolutely, Hamjad. Thank you so much for bringing all the updates there. I hope you get a ride on that train as well. Thank you so much for giving us all the details.